everyone, welcome back for another Species Spotlight. I'm Miss Nicole here in the courtyard of the Key West Tropical Forest and Botanical Garden because today we're going to highlight a very unique and special species, the bellflower, which you can see is actually in bloom right behind me here in the courtyard. And we actually have two of these that are very visible on either side of the courtyard, on the left and the right. You won't be able to miss it because of these distinct flowers it has. Now, the reason that these are so special is because this species was actually on the verge of extinction until the National Arboretum actually took this plant and propagated it and helped for it to become no longer on the verge of extinction, and now it's just considered to be near threatened. So that's pretty awesome, and we're lucky enough to have two of them here. And as you can see, it looks like a tree. They really don't grow much more. The average is about 6 feet. The maximum is 15 feet tall. They are a perennial evergreen, meaning that they stay green all year round, and they also just continue to bloom. They don't really die out easily. So they'll just continue to grow until they reach that like maximum height. They like partial shade. And what's super important about this species is that they have to be frost-free. And that's because they're native to Jamaica and Cuba. And they have to be frost-free because once they get any frost on them, they will die and they won't come back the next season. So the Key West Tropical Forest and Botanical Garden is a perfect place for this species to grow because we are the only frost-free garden in the continental US. It's pretty cool. So let's take a closer look at these flowers so we can examine the fruit, the seeds, and all of that. So here we have one of the flowers blooming, and as you can see, they are very large. They're trumpet-shaped flowers that are primarily white with some pink in them. And because they're this trumpet tube-like shape, they're primarily pollinated by moths. And it has this woody egg-like fruit. So here we can see some that has already opened up and spread their seeds. There's some more fruit back there and over here. And this species blooms in the late spring and early summer. So if you wanted to catch a glimpse of this, now would be a great time to come to the garden. And as I mentioned, this species is primarily pollinated by moths. And that's because this flower is the most fragrant in the evenings, and the smell of the flowers is often compared to rich, creamy chocolate, which I can tell you, we smell these flowers here at the garden. What's also interesting, as this flower was actually named after the Duchess of Portlandia, which is how it got its scientific name. So if you want to learn more about this species, you can check out our guide on our virtual living lab on our Google Classroom, which you can register for free at Keywest.garden/education. See you next time.